Welcome to a very special edition of the Bayou Country Music Association show. I'm joined by my old school brother, Kyler Ordwin, co-host, and Mr. Chris Breaux. How you guys doing today?
Good. Yourself?
No.
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Man, Kyler's been working up north up there, out away from work, but we got him over the phone on this three-way, and we got Chris on the line, man. We've been after Chris for a while. He's been putting out, been in the lab, man. Been making some great music that he's about to put out, man. And he's got a song today we're gonna play. And so what's the year been like for you, man? What you been up to as far as music?
Well, it's been, I guess it's been kind of a rat race, you know. Went to Nashville last summer around this time last year, and we cut a record with a guy named Darren Sacred. Tracy Lawrence's guitar player produced a record, and it's taken about a year to get through some red tape and and other things happened. We had to redo a couple of things and.
Yeah, it obviously you got your times whenever you gotta fix things that don't go the way you want in the music world, man. And let's take a step back. I'm kind of jumping the gun here. I mean, Chris is a mutual friend of ours. Chris is a Louisiana artist with a almost Texas flair. Chris, explain to the listeners where you began your musical career. Like what kind of artists gave you your influences, and what got you into the door as a musician?
Earliest was my dad. My dad had a country band called Country Gain, I believe, in the 70s. And his lead guitar player was a guy named Fabian Champagne, who played guitar for Hunter Hayes until Hunter was in his mid-teens. And that was a guy I learned from. I'd think, him and my dad always stood right next to each other in rehearsal rooms and stuff, and I'd sit at their feet when I was younger and stare at their guitars till I was blue in the face, and they had band practice, a couple of times a week, and that's kind of what got me, got the bug going.
Definitely, man. So you definitely got a liking and a relationship with the guitar early in life.
Yeah, and good for me. I watched them play, but as the band members, the steel guitar and the piano player and all that, they would get new instruments. My dad would buy the old one from them, and he'd put them in my room. And by the time I was 6 or 7, I could play piano a little bit. I had a steel guitar. I had, bass, drums. I had all these weird instruments, always laying around the house. And so, much as my son does today, I didn't have toys, really. I had lots of musical instruments around, and I just...
That's definitely a blessing that's disguised as a curse growing up, man, but you definitely learned at an early age, man.
Yeah, I started playing... I guess serious, as the story goes, I remember walking into Kmart, and my grandmother worked there when we were young, and this was 1978. And my dad...
At the radio station, Cable?
No, Kmart.
Oh, Kmart. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Kmart, not K-Bone. K-Bone. All right, Kmart. Got you.
And my dad was off to buy the brand new Merle Haggard record, at the time. And we walk in, and he told me I could have anything, And so I go, and the first record I buy, was Leonard Skinner's Street Survivors.
Classic.
And and so enamored. In my opinion, Steve Gaines was the lead guitar player that played on that record. He had a lot of country flair in him, and he's the reason why I play lead guitar today. And so, if I were to say my earliest influences on the reason, why my music sounds the way it does today, is Merle Haggard is my favorite country singer of all time, and then Leonard Skinner's my favorite group of all time, and I just found a way to mix that together in my own way.
That right there is a beautiful, beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen. Merle Haggard and Leonard Skinner having a love child. That is something. I mean, Leonard Skinner is a legendary rock band, but a southern rock band. And if you asked every country guitar player in the genre if Leonard Skinner didn't have any influence on them, then, and they told you no, they'd be lying to your face, man. I mean, that's just...
They probably would be, and equally as important, my dad is from Texas. They grew up in Fort Worth, and we still have family that live there and stuff. Equally are important to all the Texas country bands is the ZZ Tops and the Stevie Ray Vaughns and all of those things. I think why, in my opinion, we live in Louisiana, and that the culture is engulfed in Cajun music here. And while they do listen to other forms of music, it's really predominant, right? Especially in this Acadiana.
Definitely area. In the southern area, man. Yeah, I have to say.
That wasn't, that just wasn't my bag of tricks, and so I ventured always west, So, you had the Leonard Skinner band from Florida, and that kind of Gulf South area. And then, influences for me were, Allman Brothers, early going, I remember listening to, like, Journey and Foreigner and... and
classics,
then on the flip side of that, was listening to Merle Haggard, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, and then,
the classics, man. I mean, it's just...
Yeah.
So
I was on both sides of the fence there. That's where it all started for me.
You definitely took a page out of our book here with Bayou Country, and we have a name of Bayou Country, and the aspect of the Cajun theme, but we definitely have our hearts and souls in the true traditional country music, and that rocking, southern rock, and that outlaw country, and that traditional country, and that just it's all over, man. And they do have some of it here in Louisiana, man, and of course they flooded with it in Texas, and that's why we venture out to the great state of Texas, and we do stay in our state as well, and we're proud to be a part of the Texas Country Music Association and help that state out. And so you're on the right show, man. You're on the right show, and it's nothing against our state, man, and our musicians. We have some great musicians, man.
Look, I like living here. It's a good place to live. The food's pretty good. Even though, look, I should have been Italian, because I'd much rather eat Italian food than I would Cajun food. But there's a lot of stuff to offer. While it's a big small town.
Yeah, that sums it up right there.
That has its advantages. Growing up, me and my friends could walk down the street with a BB gun or a .22 rifle and go hunting, and the cops would honk the horn at you and wave, and what were you doing? You were taking off at 5 o'clock in the morning before you went to high school to go squirrel hunting or something, That's not some of the stuff that you do you know, in a big city. So, I mean, the benefits of growing up around here is that, you know, while it's turning into a concrete jungle, you know, in this town, it used to be, you know, real small town, you know, Mayberry-ish, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man, it's evolving, man. The whole scene, really. But
look, everywhere, you know, if you don't evolve, you know, you stay stagnant, and there's no growth, and there's no, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're not evolving in music, you're not growing. I mean, speaking of evolve, did Kyler evolve into another form over there, man? I don't know if he's still alive, man. I was excited for him to be up on the show, and I just don't.
I'm here. I'm enjoying conversations.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, I was just checking, man. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Chris is, you know, he's steered towards that Southern rock meets country, you know, vibe, and that's definitely a great sound. And you know, it's a great, he's a great artist. You know, me and Kyle looked up to him, and he's a great musician. He's damn good, you know, one of the best guitar players in the state, man. And he's just all around good guy, man. So I was glad to have him on, man, and feature some music with him, and get the world to see, you know, what we have down here in Louisiana. We're not all Cajun fiddles and, you know, and accordions as he loves. So we got some slayers of the guitar down here, man, and some rock and roll players, man. So.
Hey, look, I play a mean air accordion, all right? And he does.
Yeah, he does. He plays a mean air. He plays about as good a mean air accordion as I do air guitar. So, you know, that we go neck and neck with that. So, man, you got this song. Anyone else that you want to play today? And it's a unique song in that the beginning of it is unique. So, go ahead and explain a little bit about that.
Well, look, my son Huck is, look, he's turning out to be a great guitar player, and look, if I'm being honest, you know, I haven't bought a toy in 5 years, you know, I mean, and he has a dozen guitars and amps, and that's what he wants to do. He plays drums, and he's engulfed into playing music, and I was fortunate enough, you know, growing up, that I played the guitar in my dad's band for a while before he kind of got out of it. And, you know, I was also fortunate enough to last, I think it was year and a half ago, when Merle Haggard died over at the Blue Moon Saloon, they threw a Merle Haggard tribute night, and I was able to one more time. You know, I got my dad up to sing a couple of songs, and got to play with him again. And so, for me, that was pretty cool, and I wanted to be able to do the same thing that my dad did for me when we were young. Is he would take me to, you know, to gigs, and, you know, let me play my 3 chords that I knew good, and, you know,
share a bond, yeah.
And so what I thought was, I was like, well, you know, I'm putting out a CD. Let me teach my son some of these things. That way, when I can jam around the house, he can play with me. And just had an idea one day at the beginning of the song, and I'm like, hey, man, you want to come record a song with me? And he said, sure. And so I got him to come in, and he played the intro lick, and probably played until about the middle of the song. You know, he's in there until he messed up, and I was like, well, that's good. He was finished, you know. 8-year-olds still have a attention.
8 years old, and he's playing, you know, in this song. That's amazing. That's awesome,
yeah.
man.
He does the intro lick, you know, by himself, and which is a version of the same lick that I play in the opening of the song. But, you know, and that's something you'll be able to share with him for the rest of your life, man. That's awesome. Yeah, that's the whole idea for me. Is like, look, I'm 44. There's no brass ring, you know, out there for me. You know, I might have some regional success, and and stuff. And you know, I think that some of the people that enjoy what I do, you know that I'm not trying to bust out the Nashville scene and become the next Garth Brooks. That's not, for me now. It's like, hey, you know, I'm just trying to leave a legacy behind for him. Maybe he can carry on the same thing I did, just like my dad.
Exactly.
You know?
If I can reiterate on that, Chris, this past October, you know, Chris Breaux and Six String Rodeo is headliner Ice Festival down there in Crowley, and if I'm not mistaken, you got Huck up to play the whole set with you, not just a song, but he got up and played the entire show with you in front of a sold-out crowd. And the excitement on your face was different than what I've ever seen before, man. Pulling your son up to play a live gig with you was great. How did that feel, having him play right?
I will say that the best gigs that I play nowadays are sitting in my back room with my son, just jamming. So that one was pretty, you know, to give him the experience. And, you know, he was a little shell-shocked at the beginning. You know, he was nervous. And I was like, you know what? I walked out, you know, on stage and I showed him. And I said, hey, all of those people out there. And I'm like, don't ever think of that stage. It's anything more than that back room at the house. And I'm like, you play guitar every day. You get up there and you play guitar every day just like you do at home. It's no different.
I mean, mind you, folks, this is an 8-year-old kid that is just jamming. I mean, we're about to play this song, and we're going to let Chris introduce it, but you're going to see, like, this is an 8-year-old kid, and he's just jamming with his dad, and it's awesome to hear.
Now, Chris, on that song right there, we was just talking about, how did you come about it? Were you able to write that song, or were you able to pick that up through a song?
Actually, I'll tell you, for the last 3 years, you know, while I hadn't written plenty of songs for myself, the goal was to, you know, find a lot of songs. Look, I had made records for years, you know, and recorded, you know, 10 to 20 songs of mine that I wrote, and in my opinion, they were never good enough, even though some people could have begged the difference. And going into this record, I was like, you know, I always wanted to go to Nashville and record, you know, if nothing else for the experience. And like, I'm going to do it the way that the pros do, and I'm going to do everything that they want to do, you know. So I saved up, you know, about $15,000 and walked into Nashville, and I laid all my money down. This is what I want to do. And so then we started looking for songs, and, you know, me and Kyle, you know, and mostly for probably the 2 years prior to recording it, you know, right, songs and all these songwriters, and then arranging them to fit what we do, because the most important thing is that if anybody knows who I am or anything about me, I'm going to do what I want to do my way, and I don't care if I got to break the rules, but I'm going to do what I want, when I want, and how I want to do it. And I'm not going to let anybody ever tell me to do it another way.
Rock on.
And that is the way I approach the record. You know, you want to do it this way? Well, if I don't like it, we're not doing it that way. Yeah. And so when I walked into Nashville, it was not to get, it was not to do anything their way. It was to take direction on how to sound like the professionals. There's a sound that comes out of Nashville for a reason. Those guys are pros. And while I could have easily come to here in Louisiana and made my record and got a good record, it would have sounded like it came from Louisiana. There's a certain sound that comes from here, but that's not the record I wanted to make, so I went to where I wanted to make a record. Yeah.
Which, I mean, there's nothing bad in that, and I much respect that. I mean, obviously we do a lot of interviews in the Texas scene and Nashville scene, even the top Texas, singers that are independent, they do a lot of their recording in Nashville, man. I mean, it's just, that is what Nashville is famous for. Is just
look, they make hits. They make hit songs over there, and people go there for a reason because they're good at what they do. It's not that they're not good somewhere else.
No,
it's a different stamp. You want to go play in a jazz band or something like that, you go to New York because they have that stuff all locked up. Right. Nashville has the country stuff all locked up. It's not to say that the country that comes from Nashville versus the country that comes out of Texas. Well, it's still country. It still has a Texas flair and it still has a Nashville flair to it.
Yeah, perfect example, man, of that. Not to cut you off. Randall King, who's been making waves in country music and getting, the likes of Garth Brooks to come to give him, hiatus. He come out with his sophomore album, and I actually interviewed him and asked him, what was the differences in that album from his first one, and he said, well, the first one I recorded, and he actually, I did not know till I interviewed him. He went to school and had a degree in producing and actually had a hand in everything that he did, writing, producing, everything. Well, the first album he did in Texas, Texas. And the second sophomore album he just come out with, he did in Nashville with studio musicians, and it is the same artist, the same writing, but it is just the little things that have made it go skyrocket. So that's a perfect example of taking a Texas artist or a Louisiana artist and not changing the person and just taking in that little subtleties and making it show.
Making the small things that makes a big difference, huh? Look, and it's all about, at the end of the day, all we're trying to do is while, look, they have some great guys around here, and, we look, this place is pretty small, and it's always a battle to see who's gonna, I would call it a friendly competition, and, in years past, it wasn't always friendly competition, but look, I'm good friends with Dustin Saunier, and I know Jared Lane, and I know Shane Rodriguez, and all those guys. They have good records, but I don't want to make those records. Right. I want to make my own record, and it's not to say that those guys' records are bad, but for me personally, I want to set the bar higher so that the next time that those guys put a record, they're going to be like, well, he went out and made this record, so if he can do it, we can too.
Yeah.
Let's go do that.
It's the motivation.
It's not that you aren't capable of making the record as good as mine. I'm just doing, we're playing leapfrog here. I'm making a good record, I want you to make one better than me.
Yeah, man, it's about motivation, man, and that's what it's all about. You mentioned Dustin, great musician. He's good at friends and been friends with the likes of Josh Ward and all these Texas guys. So he's been in, him and Jared and them guys. They've been in the likes of these guys from Texas, and they know what it's like to have the friendly competition. It's motivation, man. It should be all about making each other better.
Look, the one thing that I know from being in and dealing with some of these, being friends with some of the Texas guys, and then also being friends with a lot of guys who, are playing with some famous people, and I guess that's a story for later on in this interview, but is that the community of musicians that come out of Texas and Nashville are always willing to help the musician next to him get ahead. It's not a contest for any of those guys. It's like, hey, we're all from Texas. Let's be the best that we can be together. And
without a doubt.
Thing. Now, you have in Nashville, you have this elite hierarchy, where, there's a group of guys that may not want to tell everybody the inner circle secrets. But rightfully so. I don't want to tell nobody, all of my secrets either. But if you go there long enough, and you put in the time, then they teach them to you.
Exactly. It's a respect. It's a respect thing.
So, you're definitely right. You have to earn
Yeah, Fernando Simpsons.
And so, but that's the one thing I get out of those guys is, look, I've met a lot of great players from Nashville, talk to them, hang out with, I've been fortunate enough to get some, artist endorsement stuff, from like Fishman Electronics, PV, Buddha, stuff like that. So the caliber of musicians I get to hang out with now because of those opportunities are these top-tier guys, and in respect, look, I don't even think that I'm anywhere on their level, and
I think you selling yourself short, man, because I was about to say you are on that level. You may not think that, but you are a very seasoned, very good musician, and all around, much less guitar player, much less singer, much less writer. So you're very. I know I look at you myself as one of the top veteran musicians in our area of Louisiana, and the top acts, man, just a top class act. You're a very genuine musician. You stick to what you want, and there's very rare in the music industry as a whole, but you have always been that guy ever since I've known you, before you even knew who I was, man. You've always been just like you said, you want to do it. You're going to do it the way you want to do it, and you're not going to do it the way that it's not, you're not going to make it something that you don't want it to be and settle for something that it's not, not Chris Breaux. And that's the best way to be.
You're right. I mean, to a lot of, I don't think I'm better than anybody else. They have a lot of, I always remember one thing is they have a guy out there that's half my age and twice as good as I am, and you never know when that guy can come up on the stage and mop the ass with you,
Yes, very true.
The first thing you have to remember in this business is just stay humble.
Yep.
The only person that I'm trying to be better than every day is the guy who I was yesterday.
Amen.
If I play guitar today, I'm trying to learn something to be a little bit better today. I'm trying to push the envelope about what I do. In terms of, I guess the length of time that I have for a lucrative musical career. Look, I'm not going to be no big star at 40, almost 45 years old. My door is slowly closing. But that doesn't mean I can't quit learning, and that doesn't mean
you can't quit having fun, man, and having a good time, man.
When my time is up from being the front guy, I'm still going to play guitar, and I might have to go behind some young cat and be his side guy. And look, I'm okay with that. I don't need the whole spotlight, I mean, I would much rather just hide behind a black curtain, if I'm being honest. The person who I am is exactly who I told you was. Look, I don't pull no punches with anybody. If you want my opinion, come and ask. I'll be brutally honest.
You get what you see.
You might walk away crying. Who knows? I don't intend to hurt anybody's feelings.
Oh, Lord, man.
I'm not going to sit there and lie to your face.
He's not lying. He's one of the most genuine, honest people that I know, that I can vouch Collar knows. And he might come off a little rough, but he is really one of the best people on this boot-shaped state that we live on. And I know we're getting kind of sidetracked, man, but I want to jump back into your song, Anyone Else, and let you introduce it and play it for everybody to hear, and then we can come back into talking a little bit more, man.
All right. Well, next song is called Anyone Else, recorded in Nashville a year or so ago.
Check this link.
It ain't always easy to love somebody you can't live without.
that is anyone else by Chris Breaux, who's in studio with us, and his young son helped him on that track. And we're also joined by our long lost co-host, Mr. Kyler Ordwin. So yeah, man, that was awesome, man. That was an 8-year-old child that was just shredding that. That's awesome.
It's awesome to watch, man. You know, it really is to sit at home, you know, on the couch watching TV, and out of nowhere he'll pick up a guitar and he'll be like, "Hey, do you know how to play this song?" And I was like, "Well, maybe not," but I was like, "Let's figure it out." And we sit there and we figure it out together, and then, you know, my interests these days are much more in tune with watching what's on the latest TV show rather than playing guitar, you know.
Oh yeah.
But he'll go in the back room and he'll rip it up for an hour, and then he'll come back and show me like, "Hey, look at this, you know. This is what I learned," and it's, you know, whatever. I think it was, I guess about a month ago or something like that. He was watching YouTube videos of guitar players, and that was found Derek Trucks, and he's like, "Well, I got a guitar just like that, you know, a Gibson SG," and he's like, "I want to do what he does." And I said, "Well, here's a slide. Why don't you?" I tuned it for him, and you know, a couple of hours later, he comes out his room and he says, "Check this out," you know, and he starts playing, you know, Derek Trucks Jam. I think it was on the song Layla or something. So it was pretty, it's pretty awesome to watch some of that unfold on a daily basis, you know. That's way more interesting to me than, you know, trying to,
That's,
I don't know.
It's a great story to me. You know, he's a second, third generation, you know, guitar musician family, you know, and he just loves it, and you can pass that along to him, you know.
Well, that's look. In hindsight, this is all I know how to do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've spent most of my life playing guitar and you know, doing stuff, you know, music related. So that's what. Now,
Chris, to reiterate the question I asked earlier about, you know, picking the song out, writing the song, who wrote that song for you for anything else? And have they heard your version of it? I mean, what do they think of your version compared to, was that what they envisioned when they wrote it, or is it?
Man, I can't remember what the songwriter's name were. I have it written down on a piece of paper because I had to do this. But it was written by 3 songwriters, and 2 of them which happened to be women.
Wow.
You know, and they've had a couple of other people do it. Glenn Templeton did a version 5 years ago or something like that, and then most recently they had a duet with some guy who I can't remember his name, and some girl, and they're just all different, you know.
Right.
I think mine is,
that's definitely a unique one that will always be your own, brother. Cause
my version is more, you know, kind of I stuck my finger in the air.
Yeah,
you know?
That's a Chris Breaux song right there.
So let me ask you this, Chris. Was this the song that I was hearing about, that when you went and cut your album, you cut this song and then you walked into a bar and Templeton was playing that same exact song you just cut?
Yeah, well, oddly enough,
that's awesome. Just that story there.
I walked into the bar and was opening up for Glenn Templeton, and I was like, well, you know, he was doing it at sound check, and I'm like, well, shit, I can't play that song tonight.
How did that feel for you, having a big name like him do, you know, you do one of his songs, you do one of your songs? How did that feel as an artist?
It's awesome. You know, I mean, it's you know, it's, in my opinion, look, it's like ice cream. It's 31 flavors, you know, Baskin Robbins. Each guy just puts his own individual take on the song, you know, and, you know, if you're going to do something like that, you got to make it your own, but also, you don't want to do it in such a way where it takes away credibility from the guy that did it before you.
Right.
Perfect example of how music is amazing and how a great musician can take a song and not ruin it is, look at Stapleton and Jones and Tennessee Whiskey. Stapleton took a iconic song, the George Jones song, and did not even tarnish it and made it his own and made it iconic. You know, that sums it up right there, man.
That's what everybody tries to do, and some people fall short, you know, and it's going to happen. You know, you can't record 10 songs and expect them all to be hit songs or even good songs. That's why, you know, you buy a record. And you know, they got 10 songs on up, and you're like, oh, these 3 are great, and the rest are just filler, you know? They're just taking spots because there's no possible way to get 10 great songs on one record. You know, it just doesn't. You know, some of the songs don't have the same impact.
It's a rare thing. It definitely is.
So, you were mentioning, you know, when you went to Nashville, you did some of your songs, you did some other songs from everybody else. But so obviously you're a songwriter. So have you ever wrote any songs or any songs? Look at me, wrote. Have you ever wrote any songs that somebody else may have done or picked up?
I see what you're doing here, Tyler. Look, I've co-written some songs that haven't gotten recorded by, you know, me and Dustin Sonia years ago. You know, we played together, you know, in his band, and we would sit around, you know, writing, you know, we wrote a couple of little tunes together. I've written with Shane Rodriguez. You know,
I guess what I'm getting at is because I know the backstory of this, but for the people that don't know, Chris Breaux actually wrote a song for Kanye West that was picked up for Kanye West. Didn't it get like a gold platinum or something?
I don't know what the deal was. I know, you know, it got nominated for a Grammy and stuff, and at the end of the day, I was just a co-writer, you know. And in the grand scheme of things, look, I wrote a song, you know, about living in the hood, and just my recollection of what was going on around me, and I didn't agree with any of it, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I'm some poor white kid from, you know, the north side of Lafayette. There's, you know, that is totally different than getting brought up, you know, on the south side of town with all the, you know, people that have a lot of money. And so, you know, I was very, what's the word I'm looking for? Disgruntled with how the things that, you know, happen around me on a daily basis, how they go, you know, the inequalities of what happens, you know, for me going to work every day and having a car that's 15 years old versus the guy that I've never seen go to work, you know, that's lived there for 20 years and has, you know, a Cadillac Escalade, but, you know, he barbecues every day, and, you know, I'm eating SpaghettiOs and frozen peaches, you know.
Welcome to my world.
So, I mean, look, that's, you know, the song was, you know, I don't think I was intentionally trying to bash anybody, but I don't agree with what goes on in this country, and I was going to say something about it. Ironically, you know, they didn't even get it.
Well, you as a songwriter, how does it, just in general, how does it feel to have anybody, rather it be national or local, to say, hey, man, you wrote a phenomenal song, I want to pick it up, and I want to do it myself? How, as a songwriter, does that make you feel that, you know...
I mean, it feels like at least somebody, regardless, I mean, I think Kanye West is a douche, you know.
LOL. Agreed.
You know, I mean, whatever. That's whatever circle he runs in. I mean, he probably thinks I'm a douche too, so it doesn't matter.
It's a free country, man. We can think each other douches all day.
If I know him, he's probably thinking about, well, you know, you're a pretty inconsequential person in my life, and I feel the same way about him. You know, I got lucky that at least he was smart enough to see past whatever the song was, and to just realize that, hey, at least here's a guy that's telling it from his perspective, and it's, I'll pull the words right out of James Johnson's song. If it's cocaine in a whore, it's cocaine in a whore. I'm not gonna butter that up for you in a bunch of pretty words and give you a story, that looks real good and is PG rated. No.
Right, and I think you just hit the nail on the head right there when you said Jamie Johnson. When I think of Chris Breaux, first person that comes to mind is in Nashville is Jamie Johnson. You remind me so much of the style, personality, the directness of Jamie Johnson, and that's, to me, is a hell of a comparison for.
I'd have to say Eric Church, man. I mean, modern day Eric Church, just because Eric Church has that, he don't give a damn what the people, what the even the labels say. He's gonna do what he wants, and he's gonna put out the music he wants, and he loves his fans. He loves his musician. He loves his music. He loves what he does, and everybody respects him. And I feel like the people that look up to Dirty, which listeners, that's Chris's nickname to his friends, Dirty. Who look up to Chris is they genuinely respect him, and I put the Eric Church tag to him, man.
Look, I played with the same drummer and bass player for about 10 years, and although we no longer play together because shit happens, but Clark Harris was the drummer that played with forever, him and Kyle Hebert. And I remember somebody asking Clark one time and telling me, say, why are you friends with that guy? And he's like, hey, you know what, at least I know where he stands every day.
Exactly.
Right. There's no doubt that sometimes, I'm just an asshole to have to deal with, but it's because I walk around every day. I don't give a damn what you or anybody else thinks. I'm going to do what I want to do, and if you don't like it, well, just mind your own business and stay the hell out of my way. Right.
But at the same time, at the same level, whenever you respect the person and whenever you put them on a high level, you genuinely do, man, and that's what I respect.
I do. I believe some people that there are a lot of musicians in this area, and just people in general. I have a lot of respect for a lot of individuals that I hold pretty high up on my priority list, and but it's my views on life in general, how I'm gonna live is always that, look, I'm gonna do it my way, when I want, how I want, and if you don't like it, well, then stay the hell out of my way, because I'm gonna run you over if you get in the way of it.
Right. Now you mentioned earlier, speaking of your band that you played with for 10 years plus, whatever. When you started your group with Chris Breaux, how did you sit determined who to get? Because there's so many great musicians in this area. How did you narrow down to just these select 3 or 4? Is there something that
they weren't the first ever? The first 5 years of this band was a revolving door of musicians. I mean, the first guitar player that I had in my band with me was a guy named J.D. Wallace, David Wallace.
Oh, wow.
Out of Baton Rouge, and he plays guitar with Jake Owens now. And he asked me when we started this band together, and he's like, man, why don't you come to Nashville? I'm like, nope, I'm out. And I'm like, I ain't gonna play that old rat race game over there. I was like, if I want to make no money in some gigs, and play for exposure, I can do that right here at home. And so he went out to Nashville and got several gigs playing with some good bands, and then landed the Jake Owen gig, and fortunate for me, I got to meet him up on the road one time. We opened, and it's funny how the ride ends up, and a lot of the musicians that I played with were all great. I had a steel player that was a graduate from Juilliard. He's a great musician, and had a drummer that played in the Louisiana Hayride band. A guy named David DeVille. Clark Harris, Kyle Hebert, both, we all played together in Blaine Rollett's band, and then those guys, Kyle's playing with Tracy Berg now, and Clark does fill in stuff with them, and all great musicians. I got lucky that I was always at least good enough to play in the company of those guys, and getting to play, in Charlie Rivers' band with, Justin Lewis on guitar, who is also on Monster, Brian Petrie on drums, Charlie Broussard on bass. All of those guys were equally, yes, important to what I do. They all had their own way of putting their stamp on what I do, and I always welcome it because this was never,
They helped mold you into the musician you are today. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, it was never a band to go out. I was never trying to be the popular kid,
Right.
In the music scene. This was more like, this is a musician's band. If you want to take a guitar solo and it's 8 minutes long, my gosh, go play. You spent your whole life trying to be able to do that as good as you can, but play. If all of these people they don't like it, well, then they can all leave and go home. But I'm going to let you do what you spend your whole life doing.
Right, and that's what it takes, man. That's why people join, and that's why people in musicians do what they love and have a passion for it.
And that's the important, is because if you go out there each and every night and play a gig and you're happy about what you're doing,
that's what it's all about.
They don't like the music that you're playing. They can see that you're having fun. They want to have fun with you.
Right.
So they're going to want to be, people always want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, right? And so all you have to do is make sure that you're genuine about what you do every time when you walk up there. And just be yourself, I mean, there's no reason for me to go ahead and put on my sister's skinny jeans and get me a slick back haircut and,
The day I see Chris Breaux in skinny jeans, I'm going to head for the hills, folks.
You better head for the hills, because hell's going to freeze over. I'm too old to fit my
Man, Chris is giving good just words of advice to live by. Just live each day to be a better person than you were yesterday. Yes. Don't put on a show, and just be a genuinely good person. Don't be a shitty person, and just be honest to yourself and to other people.
But you know how hard that is? I mean, you ever had to, the hardest thing in life is to be able to look in the mirror and not lie to yourself.
It's true. You have to be honest to yourself.
Just like anybody else did, but I believe there comes a point in life when you get old enough that you're willing to say, okay, well, I know you screwed up, and I know whatever you did, I know I did drugs in the past, I cheated on my wife, or whatever the hell it may be, and I know my electricity got cut off because I didn't pay the bill, and I did all these things. At some point, you're going to have to look yourself in the mirror and be like, hey, I screwed up here, and it's all my fault.
And own up to it, man. Yeah. And I mean, yep.
I believe when a person can get to that point, that's when you actually start living, because you start to look at things a whole lot differently. Like, look, I'm not perfect, and I'm gonna screw up. I'm gonna screw up again. Sometimes I'll screw up on purpose just to see how fun it is.
There you go. Like George Strait said, I'm living and living well. I mean, you have to, obviously country music is, a lot of it is based off of mistakes and sadness and heartaches and true life experiences. But you have to be able to come to that point in life where you take actions as a person and say, it was me, I messed up, and move forward and grow.
Look, I did some stupid. I did some stupid shit, and I landed myself in jail sometimes. And you know what? It sucked to be away from home and to do those kind of things. But you know what? At the end of the day,
it made you better.
It wasn't anybody else's fault.
Nope.
I screwed up. That's my shit. So I have to live with the consequences there. And it's, I don't blame anybody for me, to want to become a musician and having to struggle through life, because you know, because of that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, Chris is over here just being patriotic, folks. I mean, July 4th is right around the corner. He's running for president in 2020. I'm voting for him over Trump's re-election, man.
Dude, I tell you what. Look, that would be the last thing anybody would want to do.
Man, they said that about Trump. They said that about Trump, and look where we at now as a country, man. I mean, we're slowly getting there.
Look,
Dirty can do it. I think Chris would be a great president. I mean,
in respect to, look, I've lived my life trying to buck the system because I thought it was flawed, you know.
Well, who better to have in control?
But you know what? At the end of the day, too, you know, now that I'm older and wiser, I'm also a man of certain rules. And if you're going to be a cop and you tell me you're about to give me a ticket, you know.
I feel like we're about to steer off into a whole nother show here. Go ahead.
You know, but no, I mean, it relates in everything.
No, man, hey, this is untimed. We could go all day. I'm wide open. I'm wide open, brother.
Ticket, okay, you better have followed the letter of the law, and you better never have once ever sped in your life if you're going to honestly give me that ticket. Right?
I don't explain.
If you want to uphold the law, you need to never have had a speeding ticket yourself, or even sped. So the double standard in life goes just like that. I believe that certain things in this country are not done the way they should have. You know, look, I think Democrats are stupid. I think Republicans are stupid. I think liberals are fucking whacked out of their mind.
Amen.
You know, they're way more extreme than both of those other ones put together. But you know what? At the end of the day, they're all fighting against each other so much that they're not getting shit done for any of them.
Nope.
You know, so if they would all just shut the fuck up and read the law like it's presented,
Amen.
you know, before us,
Hey,
and read what the law says. You know,
it took a whole hour before Chris said a bad word. I'm impressed. I gotta
Hey,
give it to him.
all it took was for me to bring up politics, man, and just like just like the song goes, man, don't bring up politics, religion, or her. And I broke the first rule. I really said it as a plug, man.
It's not about, and it's not about politics at all.
I was trying to plug, man. I was trying to plug a July 4th show, man, and you just come out. I just let it go because I don't care, man. It's my show. I can just roll.
It's not about it. If you want to, the problem nowadays is this. It's not about, look, I believe this country is run pretty shitty. I believe that I'd said it from the beginning. While Trump may be a shitty president, he's a great businessman.
Oh,
okay, any great businessman knows that, hey, if you tried a business and you failed, you filed bankruptcy, and what do? You
start over.
The unsuccessful people will wallow in their
pity, nothing, shit,
and do nothing. And the guys who are going to be successful will be like, well, I might have failed, but let me get back up on the horse and try again. And you keep trying until it works out for you. Good businessman, he never gave up.
Never.
Okay, he may have failed. He may have done some stuff that was probably unethical, because I do not know a businessman out there that
I don't know a man out there.
Made his business on 100% ethical situations and was successful.
Yeah.
You have to screw somebody somewhere along the way to get to.
Yep, definitely right, man. I mean, you're right. You're right on that, man.
So it's not. Look, I'm not for the Democrats. I'm not for the Republicans. I'm not for the liberals.
I'm for Chris
What
Breaux.
I am for is, hey, for America. I'm for. Let's do some. Some stuff right.
Let's do something positive.
Personal beliefs, and let's get some work done.
Let's get some shit done. Let's roll our sleeves up. I mean,
it's and if it takes all of you to do it together, put aside what you are, a Democrat or a Republican or a liberal.
Be an American.
Really, what do we need to do? What do we need to do to take care of the people that are right here, right now? Living this life and try to make it better for them.
I mean,
you don't agree with that if you're worried about your grandkids, have as president, well, you're part of the problem anyway. You're worried about some stuff that, none of us know. The world could blow up in a fiery storm of shit.
Yep. And on that beautiful sentiment, I'm going to tell you what you need to do, guys. I mean, this Independence Day, get your red, white, and blue on. Show your honor and your integrity for this country. Who cares if you voted for whoever? Go down to the Oak Lounge on Veterans Memorial Drive in Abbeville and listen to this man, Mr. Chris Breaux. He's going to be putting on a free to the public show. And, I mean, if you don't want to go after hearing that, I don't know what the hell you want to do for it. I mean, it's free to the public. There'll be dollar shots, $3 mixed drinks. Chris is going to be there just putting on a show, just great music. He'll tell you how it is if you don't like it, man.
Hey, it's 4th of July. Chris may do a couple shots with you guys. You never know.
Probably not.
I'm sure he wouldn't turn them down, man.
I don't drink, so...
That is true. That is true, and that's another sentiment that everything he has said in this interview, the man does not drink. He holds himself true to the core, and you take that to the ballot. You take that to the ballot, 2020.
I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs, and I'm not going to tell you that I never did them because I did all of them before. But it just doesn't work for me nowadays. I got stuff that's, I'm not going to sit here and preach and tell anybody, drugs are bad and drinking's bad and cigarettes are bad and
everything's bad.
I have never, when somebody can prove to me that drinking, show me a positive sign that what drinking does for you. Well, the only positive you got is you get drunk. It's not going to solve any of your problems,
I can't even make the joke right now, but
you just. I mean, if you didn't win the election after that, man, you can't even joke on the man. That's just winning right now. Winning.
Yes, it's just my
man.
It's just my bro-isms. How you like that?
Yes, coin that phrase. His bro-isms. Chris Breaux, guys, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Breaux on the show. Chris Breaux stole the show. This is probably one of the best interviews we've had all month, all year. I'll just mark it down, man. Chris, obviously, I plugged that one show, but you got some other shows. I mean, where can people, check out your shows? It'll be on Facebook.
Man, I do a little acoustic thing every Wednesday night at Murphy's Law on Pinhook right here in Lafayette.
All right.
The summertime, I didn't book too many full band shows. I've got stuff over in the works and dates getting finalized in September and October to do some runs up around the Dallas area.
Yeah, I was about to ask, man, if you was gonna venture out west to the Texas area.
So the big question for anybody that is listening that will be listening to us: do you have any CDs out or any albums we can buy for you guys and listen to it on the daily basis, or how?
Yeah, you don't have a Spotify or anything, huh?
No, not yet. Look, I'm about as
he's old school, folks. Old school.
I'm old school, so I have to get people to do that. Look, I can barely. Look, if I'm being honest, the internet to me is still, you do two things with it. You can buy shit on Amazon and you can look at porn.
Wow, and you are saying that live on internet now, right now.
Yep, that's right.
There you go.
So let me rephrase that question for you to better fit you. To better fit Chris Breaux, we're not going to have CDs. We're going to have cassettes, right? We're going to have 8 tracks, or is it going to be digital?
Well, look, oddly enough, so while we're having this interview, just about 4 minutes ago, I got an email, and it was the last. Some of the final mixes were. I'm gonna put out a 5-song EP within the next month. I was supposed to put it out last month and had some stuff go wrong.
Well, supposed to put it out late of last year.
The what?
supposed to put it out here also, or
I recorded it May of last year.
It doesn't matter what happened, man. What happened, folks? The man said he's got it done, and as soon as you get it, man, send it my way, and I will shoot it out on all the digital platforms I have access to, brother.
So let's just say within by the probably the first of.
About time school starts, about August, September.
Yeah, something like that. So I'll release 5 songs by August, and I'll have a full length. We recorded 10 songs in Nashville, but I have some bonus stuff, so it may end up being 12 songs by Christmas.
Awesome, man. Well.
And for anybody listening out there, if anybody wants to get you to go play a festival or a bar or anything, how do they contact you? Do you have a Facebook page, or do they?
Yeah,
Well, let me stop you here, man. I got my Batman interrupting Robin. How I normally do the shows is I tell the artists, I always introduce my sponsors, then I always tell the listeners to go check out the Facebook pages, which I attach every artist's Facebook. If they have a Spotify, I attach the links to that. I attach the links to all their social medias. If they have a website, stuff like that. So when I publish this, I make sure that the listener themselves has access to this artist, no matter what. I don't leave them empty-handed. So that you guys listening will definitely, when you hear this, you will be able to go check out, Chris on Facebook, on his social medias, and also, you will be updated as soon as he puts out that, the EP, and we get it on the digital world, and I can help. I will, spread the word with that. So that I didn't mean to, be rude with that, but I'm just being Chris, bro. I'm broing it out.
Yeah, don't be rude and cut me off next time.
Yeah, I didn't mean to bro you out like that. I really was talking to Kyler, man, not you.
Yeah, all right, cool. I'm forgiven, Tyler, just shut up.
Yeah. Man, this has been a fun time, man. We got to reunite with Kyler, and we miss him. He needs to come back home. He's been working hard over there up north. And Chris,
making any money, man?
Man, I hope so. We need some new chairs down here in the studio, man. I'm sitting on a bucket right now.
Hey, I'm making Chris Breaux money, man. I'm making good money. That's
well, you making somebody else Chris Breaux money. I'm starving over here.
Man, well, man, I definitely had a great time talking to you guys. We can't wait to hear the music, Chris, and definitely well deserved, brother, to have that out for you. I know you've been working hard on that, and had some bumps along the road, man, and whatever help we can do with the Bayou Country Music Association to help you, brother, we will, and you're welcome back anytime, man. You family, so we welcome you anytime, man. And if you have any kind of last little sayings or brofisms that you'd like to say, I'll give you the floor, man.
Hey, I'm just looking forward to causing a little bit more chaos down the line with you guys.
Well, that's it. That sums up this entire show, and that sums up Chris Breaux, folks. I mean, you're not going to get a better musician. You're not going to get a more distinct individual out there. So until next time, we will see you guys down the road on the Bayou Country Music Association Show podcast. The Bayou Country Music Association Show is brought to you by our sponsors, with Southern Sound Outfitters, Create Your Own Stage, Swamp Assassin, Wild Lane, Graphic Texas Red Dirt Tees, Swamp Gear, Roto-Molded Ice Chests, the Texas Country Music Association, TexasMusicPickers.com, SouthernMusicScene.com, Cowboys Nightclub in Scott, Louisiana, the Silver Saloon, Terrell, Texas. If you would like to be mentioned or sponsored on our show, please leave us an email at BayouCountryMusic@gmail.com featuring your business name and your ad. If you would like to mention somebody that you would like to see on the show, please also leave us an email at BayouCountryMusic@gmail.com Thanks everybody for listening and tuning in. I am Jacob, your host, and we will see you next time on the Bayou Country Music Association Show podcast.